What's crack-a-lackin' YouTuber Nights? It's your Captain Rocket here, and I may have a cold in me, but it doesn't matter. Welcome to Rocket Rants Episode 3. Oh boy, I can't believe I started like that. Anyways, let's get onto this with the subject at hand, microtransactions. And oh boy, do I have a lot to say about microtransactions. Let's start with what they are. If you have never heard of them before, microtransactions are in-game monetization methods that developers put into their video games to, well, I want to say fool, but let's put a nice word. Let's say they put them in just to give players an option to spend real-life money for in-game rewards. To give you guys an example of what microtransactions are, Overwatch has a variable loot box system where if you put money into the game, you can purchase loot boxes with real life money to get randomized rewards that go from cosmetic skins and stuff for your character to voices to emotes to actual to in-game currency, which at this point I believe is premium. There are many video games that have microtransactions. There are a lot of microtransactions that are growing in those games, that are in games in general. And this is becoming a problem. Well, not really a problem, but it's starting to become a problem because, first of all, they're starting to appear in a lot of full-title $60 games, and that has its own issues, and I'll explain to you guys what they are in a minute. But and not only that, but you know, it's understandable if they appear in a multiplayer game, but in a single-player game, Middle-earth: Shadow of War, I'm looking at you, Monolith. Are you guys really that greedy? Yeah, they're starting to appear in single-player games too, and this is actually becoming a very concerning issue. So, now that you guys are very much caught up in microtransactions and what they are and what they are doing to video games, time for my take. I don't hate microtransactions, but I hate the way that they're being implemented in games. I'm looking at you, EA, and your slot machine that you call a video game, Star Wars Battlefront 2. And you too as well, Activision, with your slot machine that you call Destiny 2. I didn't even purchase Star Wars Battlefront 2, but I bought Destiny 2 because I thought that Destiny 2 would be able to provide me with some kind of enjoyable gameplay experience, and for the most part, the story was decent, but you guys made your game a microtransactions loot box heavy system, and you guys are gonna have to fix that before I even get back into that. Well, me and a lot of people. But anyways, yeah, I hate the way that specifically the way that these two gaming devs put microtransactions in their games, because these two devs put their games on the back burner and put the microtransactions ahead of everything else. Let's start off with EA and their horrendous use of microtransactions in their games. Let's start with Star Wars Battlefront 2. They had a beta. They put microtransactions in the damn beta. Are you kidding me? And if I sound very angry, that's because I am. Personally, I very much enjoy the Star Wars franchise. I really do. But EA has pretty much soured my taste for it, and I blame EA blatantly for it. Now, if that's not even worse, I mean, to make it matters even worse, they said that they're gonna fix it. Well, first of all, the microtransactions made it so that you can purchase weapons in the beta, and that will allow you to win every single match. And it's basically pay to win, because you could, instead of earning the weapons, you can just buy them in the beta. Now let's get into the worst part. They said they're gonna fix this, right? So the game comes out, and EA has this thing called EA Early Access, where if you subscribe to them, they allow you to play a game a week ahead of its release date. So some people got their hands on the game, only to find out that the only thing that they quote unquote fixed was the rate at which you get what kind of weapons that you get. Other than that, everything else stayed the same and was even worse. Let's give you one example. Most of the main characters that you could use in most of the main heroes that you could use in the game are locked behind an immense paywall. For example, Luke Skywalker, Darth Maul, or Darth Vader, they all cost about 60,000 credits to unlock. And the rate that you earn credits in the game is abysmal. In the main campaign, you only get 20,000 credits when you finish it, and that's just enough to unlock the main character that you used in the campaign to use in multiplayer. That's right, You heard me. The main character in the damn campaign that you are playing in the campaign, the single player campaign, in the multiplayer version, you got to unlock her with the currency that you earn from making it in the single player campaign. EA pretended to fix this by first reducing the price of the characters, but they also reduced the amount of money that you make at the end of the campaign. Best company of the year. Best company of the year. I don't hate EA, but I hate the way that they treated Star Wars Battlefront 2 with an immense passion, because I did enjoy the first Star Wars Battlefront because it had a lot of good things going for it, but a lack of content. Star Wars Battlefront 2 was set to fix it all until EA ruined it with microtransactions. And basically, to put it quite frankly, I'm not the only one who thinks on this. This has basically reignited the hatred that most people have for EA and basically EA-oriented games. Now, me, I don't hate EA, like I said, but because of them, they basically brought this issue to a point where even government officials are looking into it. I'm about to put this man's link in the description, but there's a governor by the name of Chris Lee, who's basically in charge of who governs Hawaii. This man, who everyone right now is viewing as Superman, he recently posted a video where he had a conversation with the ESA, who is basically the people that watch over video games and how they're being implemented across the states, because the government actually doesn't handle it. The ESA is a private-owned business that does that. Essentially put, he went to them. He had a nice little conversation with them about why is it that they're not doing anything about this, and boy oh boy, did they sound very, very foolish in the video. He humbled them to the point where I'm pretty sure that those guys went home that night thinking about, damn, I just got made to look like a moron on national, I don't think it was national TV. I got made to look like a moron on the internet, and it's never going to go away. Never. This man right now, like I said, everyone's praising him as Superman because he brought this issue up to government officials. He wants there to be some control over the rate of loot boxes, because and I agree with this. Loot boxes are basically being targeted towards children. It's getting to the point where you can consider microtransactions and loot boxes to be a form of gambling, because you're never told what you're going to get if you place this amount of money in. It's always random, and the developers can easily make it so that the chances of getting the great loot are very small, and the chances of getting crap junk is very high. And they do that. Now, this man, he's proposed 2 bills in his own state of Hawaii that he wants to enact, and and I really and I'm on the fence about one of them. The first bill basically makes it so that any person under the age of 21 can't buy a game with microtransactions in it. While I do agree with the sentiment, unfortunately, it won't do jack crap, because there's already a rule in place that makes it so that if you are 17 years or older, you can purchase rated M games, but if you are under 17 years of age, you can't purchase it. Kids get their parents to buy the game, so that won't even count. The second bill kind of rectifies that though, and this one I kind of agree with. It basically makes it so that if there's a game that has microtransactions in it, they gotta say so on the cover. So let's say you go into a store, you want to buy a video game. If the game has microtransactions in it, you're gonna see it on the case, and it has to be shown clear for people to see. I agree with that, because it allows people to know beforehand whether or not they're gonna be spending real game money on it, or whether or not they're even gonna buy the game, period. If this law comes into effect, if both of these bills come into effect, it will change the gaming industry by storm. And he's not the only one. There are plenty of people outside of the world. Hell, Great Britain, Germany, Belgium. There's a bunch of places out there that are looking at microtransactions and thinking to themselves, I might actually have to look into this, because these developers are making way too much fucking money on the game. 4 billion people on FIFA alone EA makes. And if I'm targeting specifically EA, it's because they are essentially the kingpins when it comes to this microtransaction stuff, because almost all of their games has it, and they even canceled a single-player Star Wars game that was going to be Uncharted-like, very much Uncharted-like. They canceled it because they couldn't profit off of it. If I'm targeting them, I apologize. Like I said, I don't hate EA, but I know for a fact that they're basically the reason why this whole concept is being fiercely regulated right now. The game came out in November, folks, and right now, and we're still talking about it. people are still talking about it. I'll leave a link to Chris Lee's YouTube channel in the description below. But otherwise, like, seriously. Ugh. Now let's get on to the nitty-gritty, I understand why these businesses need to make, I understand they're a business, first and foremost. They need to make money. But the problem is that you are also providing games, video games, which is a form of entertainment to people. If you are in the business to make video games, you need to make video games that people can be entertained by. If you don't like it, get out of the business. We won't say, we'll miss you. At least I think some people will miss you. If you want to make a video game that counts. CD Projekt Red, they made Witcher 3, which is one of the best games ever. Even they said we don't like microtransactions in our games. Respect. But otherwise, if you're a business and you need to make money, if you want to put microtransactions in your game, be smart with it. Don't pull a EA, pull a Shadow of War. Microtransactions in that game didn't really affect gameplay that much, because you can purchase all of the loot boxes with in-game currency because you earned a lot of it. But anyways, you guys, that's pretty much it for the video. I'm sorry if I sounded very angry, but this topic really flusters me. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and share the video. Also, leave a comment, especially about some of the editing that I'm trying to do on my videos, because I've been trying to, add some new twists and twerks around there to, help to make the videos a bit more lively. So you guys let me know how you feel about them. Other than that, thank you guys very much for watching. I have been your faithful Captain Rocket. I've been angry. I'm a little bit angry. Signing off.